Welcome to Embrace Relief. I am Chelsea Winterholler, and I am so excited to be your coach today. This is episode 133, How to Overcome Fear and Find the Love. Hello. Happy Valentine's Day if you are listening to this on Valentine's Day. Of course, what are we going to talk about today? Fear. I bet you thought I was going to say love, didn't you? Well, we will get there, I promise. But I seem to be surrounded by a lot of wonderful, well-meaning people who are operating from a place of fear in their lives. I want you to think about your parenting. I want you to think about the last thing that you said to your child. Do you got it? Was this thing based from a feeling of fear or a feeling of love? For me, the last thing that I said to one of my children was, make good choices. That, my friends, for me personally, are 3 words that are based in fear most often. I said that to my son recently when I dropped him off at a friend's home. Now, I am a mom, just like you, and I often have leery feelings about friends and dropping my kids off. I think a lot of parents have that feeling when they drop their kids off at a friend's house or leave their kids home alone or whatever it may be for you. But my primitive brain, when he was getting out of the car, wanted to save him and rescue him and do something very quick to try to warn him about potential bad choices that he could be about to make. Why? Well, because I was feeling fear. I was fearing that he would be faced with these choices. I was thinking thoughts that were making me feel the feeling of fear. I was thinking things like, their parents might not know what's going on in the basement, and they might get online when we've told them they shouldn't. I was thinking, he is an 11-year-old boy who doesn't always make good choices. Right? You have probably had some of these thoughts too. Now, it could be true. He could be about to make a mistake because he's a human being and we all do that. But when I tell him, when he's getting out of the car, make good choices, even in a happy voice, I am coming from a place of fear. And he knows that. Kids are so smart and they can sense that. They can also sense when we are coming from a place of love. He knows where your words, what emotions your words are coming from. And that's because fear emits worry and concern and guilt before anything ever happens. It actually sends that energy into the direction of your child. Whereas love emits trust and confidence in the relationship. We actually have frequencies in our body, and different emotions send out different frequencies. Fear truly does emit a different frequency than love does, and our human brains are so smart and they can feel it. Fear tells our children that they aren't safe. Fear tells them that if they make a mistake, I'm the last one that they should turn to. Fear is a con artist. It sneaks in and it laces our really good intentions with dark clouds and with unintended words and unintended frequencies heading towards our children, right? Now, I do believe that fear can be a useful emotion. I believe that we are given every emotion for very, very specific reasons. But fear is only useful if we learn how to make friends with it and if we learn how to use it properly, right? When we feel fear, unless it's in the case of a speeding car heading towards us where we do need to run fast and get out of the way, when we feel fear, instead of speeding up and jumping to conclusions, what we really need to do is slow down. So what does that sound like? What does it sound like when we're talking to our kids and all of a sudden this crazy emotion of fear comes up? It can sound like this in your own head. Oh, hi, fear. Nice to see you again. What can I do for you today? I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy to have these conversations with yourself. But if having these crazy conversations with fear helps me get to a place of love with my child, I don't care what it takes. So yes, I say, oh, hi, fear. Nice to see you again. What can I do for you today? And fear comes in and says, freak out because your kid is about to make a huge mistake. And then we get to slow down again and say, oh, fear, thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. I'm so grateful that you're here to help me have these feelings so that I can decide where to go from here. You can really treat fear this way. The problem is that in this world, we don't treat fear this way. We let it linger. We send words towards our children. We send frequencies out into the universe, and this fear begins to consume us. And this fear, over and over again, I have this conversation with clients because this fear starts to completely surround us and put this big dark cloud around us. And this cloud isn't fluffy, but it's actually heavy. It's a heavy pressure that continues to push in on us until we are completely consumed by the weight and the surrounding features of this cloud. And we don't know how else to live. So do you know what we do? We just keep living in fear. And we teach our kids that that's how they should live too. Now, so many moms that I talk to want to help their kids not feel fear and not live in fear. No one wants that for their children. But you are the one that has to go first. You are the one that is teaching them how to live from a place of fear. So instead, we can talk to our fear and we can make friends with it. And we can say, oh, hi, fear. So glad that you are here. What can I do for you? Thank you so much for alerting me to that. I'm going to take a breath right now, fear, and I'm just going to slow down for a second. I'm trying to decide if what you're telling me is actually true. Take that breath. Spend some time analyzing what fear is offering you. Why am I feeling fearful right now? What am I thinking might happen or could be a possibility or is in some realm of existence around me? What am I thinking that's causing this feeling of fear? What am I fearful about right now? Is there actually a reason to fear right now? There may be, and that is why we have this emotion to tune us in to what we need to do as mothers to help our children. But jumping to conclusions and using words and sending that frequency towards our children without really realizing why we are choosing fear instead of love is not going to help them. And it is certainly not going to help us. Pause and take a moment and talk to fear and ask it over and over, is that true? Why am I feeling fearful? What am I fearful about? Is there a reason to fear right now? Slow down the frequency of fear in your body. I love to next just thank fear for being there for me. Because when we are enemies with something and we push it away, it tends to push back. You do not have to push back on fear. You can say, thank you, fear. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Now, how can I use this amazing brain I've been given and this wonderful, full, and open heart to approach this challenge from a place of love instead of fear? You guys, love is not a con artist. Love is pure and sincere and always has the best of intentions. Love never leads us astray. It really, really doesn't. I can promise you that. And I can promise you that because I've tried fear. It stinks. It breaks down relationships and it eats at communication. But love empowers, love strengthens, and love solidifies relationships. I want to challenge you to feel love. I want to challenge you to recognize when fear is in your body and say hello to it and see where it is coming from. Because when you are operating from a place of fear, it will eat at you. It will emit frequencies and eat at your children and your home and your communities. And that is not what we need. We are all here trying to do our best. And I promise you that fear is a con artist and love is not. Love is pure. Love will not lead you astray. Love will empower you. If this resonated with you today, I want you to do two things. Go to my website and set up a completely free consult. We can talk one-on-one. We can figure out what areas of your life you want to zoom in on and really figure out what emotions are fueling you today. And second, I would love you to share this podcast with a friend. If it resonated with you, it will definitely help them too. I'll see you soon, friends.